Our esteemed guests, once again, a very good morning to you all, and welcome to the second day of the Knowledge Summit, held under the theme, Knowledge, the Path to the Sustainable Development. The Knowledge Summit had become the platform of choice for launching knowledge initiatives, and we kickstart our day with announcing an initiative by PwC. Professor Laurent Probset, PwC's Accelerator Network Global Leader, will walk us through the details of the initiatives.
Thank you. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of PwC Global Leadership and under the framework of the knowledge collaboration with MBRF and UNDP, I have a great privilege today to announce the regional launch of our global initiative, New World, New Skills. For PwC, it's a very important strategic launch, knowing that we consider that our population skills is the most strategic important asset of any country, any organization. So I would like today to share with you a few elements of this reflection and also to launch a call for actions. First of all, as you know, we are today seeing a set of different trends, and we are not talking just about technology. We are talking about technological breakthrough, for sure. We are seeing massive disruption. I will just mention, for instance, a new one coming live now, which is about, I would say, quantum computer, which is really breaking the ICT industry. We are talking about demographic change, and this is a massive challenge for most of the countries everywhere. If we speak about Germany, for instance, Germany just lost this year 400,000 jobs because people went to retirement. And we are talking also about a fundamental shift in global power, illustrated by this current trade war, and this created also a massive reorganization of value chains, global value chain. And then we see again the rapid urbanization with more than 50% of the world population living now in cities. And then at the end, we still have a major, massive challenge regarding resource scarcity and sustainability. So we could imagine that at a government level, at an administration level, at a city level, at a corporate level, if we don't have the skills, the knowledge to understand the impact of these trends on our current activities, we will not be able to really define new solutions, new strategy to cope with these challenges. We consider that we are in a major period of uncertainty right now. And clearly, we would like to really recreate a human-centric approach to be able to manage different forces and contradictory forces. For instance, here on this slide, you can see the contradictory forces between individualism, and we can see every day, I would say, companies tailoring new solutions for our individual needs, while at the same time, we need to define, I would say, a collective action, a collective responsibility on climate, on good, on health. So this is really a big contradiction sometimes, and we have to make it happen for a more human-centric approach. The same for businesses, with a very important, I would say, race for scale for big businesses. And we can see today that some big businesses have a bigger size than territories, than countries, and it creates really a kind of, to some extent, a kind of a threat for some territories. And at the same time, we see also a very strong business fragmentation, where we see the power of SMEs, the strategic importance of SMEs in our economies, where SMEs represent 99% of the people employed. So we have also to be able, as a government or as corporates, to support the development of SMEs in a territory. So the impact of technology on people is key, and we consider that today this impact of future technologies will clearly impact not only individuals, but organizations and society. And here, the problem is the fact that we invest a massive amount of money into real estate, into technologies. Do we invest the same amount in people skills? I'm not sure. So at a corporate level, we invest massive amounts in ICT, in systems, in the softwares, in new processes. How much do we invest to make sure that the people have the skills to use properly these new systems? I think today we have a big gap here in terms of investment in skills. And we will not fix this gap if we do not invest massively in people. Just, you know that we know that, I will say, the labor market will be transformed into the next years, and already today we can see it. I will say, hundreds of millions of jobs will be transformed. People's career will change over time, and we are sure that we will have to change our jobs 2, 3, 5, 10 times a decade. So we have to take into account this accelerated path of change on the labor market. So what does it all mean for jobs? It means that, I would say, we have to understand at a corporate and at the same time at the government level, which job, which sectors, which value chains will be first impacted, and what will be the transition to a new job. We need also to understand the pivotal talent, so the jobs which will remain in a safe or secured for the next 5 to 10 years. So the job which will integrate creativity, imagination, design skills, which will help, and also data. We need to integrate data management in our day-to-day job for every function. Data will become, I would say, as land, as capital, as a resource, a fundamental asset. So people must have a capacity to manage data. And then adaptability, the key for the future, meaning that people have a capacity to learn fast in order to be able to adapt to the new situation. So this is a very important element of this, I would say, initiative. And people are very concerned about it. People know that they have a problem. We underassess their awareness about the current economic and social situations. They are very worried about this automation process, and they know that they might have a big problem in the next years. So companies or government who do not anticipate, who do not take action in a foresight exercise, will not be able to build trust with these people. And we have seen with governments, we have seen with corporates, creating new skill strategy, have a much better relationship with their people, a much higher engagement with their people than those who do not have this type of strategies. And I can tell you that every organization have, I would say, its own set of challenges. If I take governments, for instance, we are talking about what is the skill strategy for a government as of now, for a territory. Who is in charge of it, responsible? What is the governance of a skill strategy? What will be the education system reform? What will be the vocational training system reform? How to upskill officials, for instance. These are some of the challenges for government. For corporates, it's about understanding the job of the future. What is the workforce planning? I can tell you, even for the most sophisticated companies, it's a big challenge to plan the next job for the next 3 years today. We are all facing a massive challenge here. And for people, I would say the other point for people is the eagerness to learn. To what extent people are eager to learn? It's a massive problem. For the first time, they have access to, I would say, cheap, affordable, and online resources. But how many people really are very eager to learn? So we need also to lay down a set of a new cultural, a new learning foundation. And we have built, I would say, a framework around 5 topics, 5 blocks, I would say. The first one is about assessing, I would say, the current strategy, assessing the current skills gap on a market, on a territory. Very few countries are able to tell in a real time which jobs are not fulfilled or which competencies are required on the market. So this would be a first step into this. The second step, it's about building a future-proof skill strategy. I think here we might see different good examples of skill strategy. And if you don't know it, I would advise you to read the Norway 2017-2021 skill strategy, fully supported by the Prime Minister and supported by 11 ministers, really making the population skills as the strategic, most important strategic asset of a country. Then it's about, as I said, to lay the cultural foundation to make sure people have I would say, the culture to learn and then to share the findings, to share learning, and to create this in all institutions, public, private, university, research centers. And then the fourth block is about developing a new high-quality, I would say, upskilling infrastructures and upskilling content with high-quality training content, relevant training content. Most of the university curriculum today are, to some extent, outdated, and they do not match anymore with the current labor market. But universities have a very long process to upgrade their degrees. So we have to change the governance of it. We cannot keep with 3-4 years just to get an upgrade in a master or an upgrade into a bachelor degree. And then the last block is about evaluating the return on investment of these initiatives. We can invest a massive amount of money into that and have no return. At the same time, if we invest for a job, if we invest with a specific objective, if we have a common foundation between the public, between the government, the corporate, and the individuals, we can have a massive return on investment. In our estimations, we think that €1, $1 invested in upskilling could bring €2 back in 6 months. So the return could be massive, but it has to be properly managed. So what we want to do today for our initiatives, and I will describe in a moment it's really to start a new upskilling movement. And that's why we launched this global initiative in 130 countries. We are going to invest $3 billion into our own staff just to create the momentum. We are also, I would say, calling for actions with governments in order to create an enabling environment for upskilling, creating an ecosystem. And we are also opening the collaborations with non-for-profit institutions, foundations for disadvantaged communities in order to share, I would say, the tools, the methodologies, the lessons learned, and also the different type of resources. And at the same time, we will work with corporates to better prepare for, I would say, the workforce planning of the future and to understand the job of the futures, which will be key for government, will be key also for disadvantaged communities. So today, it's about making sure that we develop a human-centric approach in this, I would say, incredible pace of change with climate, with technological change. So the objective is to share together the vision and really to keep people's attention on the need for upskilling. And then, at the end, to make sure that we can clearly make these population skills a strategic resource for a territory and for our society. Thank you very much.